Hey, it's Miss Chris. Today, I just want to briefly talk to you about the movie Get Out. I want to do a quick characterization of the main protagonist. His name was Chris. It's a little bit of spoiler alerts, just a little bit. So if you haven't seen it, I'll tell you just a smidge about the character, but nothing really about the plot. Please make sure you go see this movie, see it with your third eye. There's a lot of things going on. So right now, I want to talk to you about Chris, the black guy. He mentioned to his girlfriend that his mother was killed when he was 11 in a hit and run accident. His father was never really on the scene. So basically, when his mother was killed during the hit and run accident, he became an orphan. And he was sitting home watching TV. And as an adult, he confessed that he never watched television. Why? Because watching television would take him away from what's really going on around him. And he still felt really guilty about his mom's death and him being 11 and just sitting there watching TV and not calling the police or not doing anything significant to help his mom while she was laying out on the road slowly dying. And he held on to this guilt. And because he held on to this guilt and because he was still letting it ruin his life, basically, where he wouldn't watch TV. He was also a photographer, so he was able to see in between the darks and the lights and the shadows and things of life. That affected his eye. He had a great eye as a photographer, but also having this tremendous guilt, they were able to, the bad guys in the movie, the antagonists, I'm not going to tell you who they are, they were able to use that guilt against him. And they were able to manipulate him with this guilt during the whole movie. And what does that tell us about ourselves? That we carry and we hold on to negative circumstances, negative thoughts, negative beliefs, unnecessarily so. We blame ourselves for not knowing what to do during those negative situations. But we have to accept things and circumstances as they come because of our consciousness. You have to accept where you are in your consciousness. So in other words, when you know better, you do better. And he was hanging on to this 11-year-old boy, thinking that this 11-year-old boy can do something to save his mother that got hit by a car that was dying in the street. He didn't know any better. So when you raise your consciousness, as you get older, you learn how to discern, you learn how to think clearly, you learn how to hopefully let things go. And how do you let things go? One, you forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for all the things that you didn't know how to do, you didn't know what to think, and you didn't know what to believe. You just have to just forgive yourself and say, you know what? I did as best as I could within the circumstances with my frame of mind that I was at the time. And once you let that go, you open up yourself, you open up your mind to have a new level of awareness. Have a new level of awareness. And that's what you want to do. Remember, I'm always talking about you want to spiral up. You don't want to keep going around and around and around, repeating the same thoughts, beliefs, and actions. You always want to spiral up and out, up and out. That means you're growing in awareness and you're growing in consciousness. So you want to forgive yourself, you want to forgive others, and you want to become more and more aware. You don't want to be a zombie walking around in your own life. You don't want life to manipulate you, and you don't want the people in your life to try to manipulate you because of weaknesses. I hate to call them weaknesses, but sore spots in your psyche, in your heart. You want to have control over yourself. You want to have control over your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. You want to be congruent. And once you are congruent in your thoughts, beliefs, and actions, then it makes it very hard for others to manipulate you. And that's where Chris was at in the movie. Because he wasn't congruent in his thoughts, beliefs, and action. He thought, oh, I'm over it. My mom got hit by a car. I'm doing good as a photographer. Da, 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 da. He was still able to be manipulated. They saw in him the soft spot in his heart where he did not forgive himself. So you have to forgive yourself. And once you do, you evolve in consciousness. And that is my brief characterization of the movie Get Out, of the protagonist in the movie Get Out. Please go see it. It is not what people are saying. Oh, it's racist against white people. Oh, it's racist against black people. Oh, it's racist against interracial couples. No, it's very, very deep. You have to look at it with your third eye. You have to look at it from a metaphysical perspective. And there's a whole lot going on in that movie that I'm not going to even touch on my channel. There are plenty of other YouTubers out there talking about the metaphysical aspects of the movie Get Out. They're very in-depth analysis of the movie. And please go see it. Go support it. Because remember, there's always truth in fiction. Until next time, remember to be the hero of your own journey. Till then, peace.